Welcome. This is a three-part series about communication, and you, my friend, are on video 3. Well, hello. Welcome. If you are new to my channel, let me introduce myself. My name is Arica Angelo, and I'm the CEO and founder of the Arica Angelo Intimacy Experience. And today we are talking about communication. Now, if this is your first video, then listen, you got to go back and watch video 1, video 2, because it's all going to make sense for this video right here. Let's keep it real. Communication is not so easy. It's not so cut and dry. I'll tell you my own experience. I think I'm a pretty great communicator, but in relationships, when things get heightened, when hearts are on the line, when fear and rejection are in question, things can get very convoluted, very heated, very confusing. It is a roller coaster communication. So even the best communicators can still experience a roller coaster ride of ups and downs, of friction, of tension, of joy, like, yay, I communicated that brilliantly, the other person understood me. And then the lows of, wait a minute, I did my part, I communicated the best I could, and I'm still sitting in a pile of chaos. I want to give you some realistic expectations. Just because you're an excellent communicator does not mean it's always going to work out. Sometimes the other person, despite how well you're communicating, is not going to be able to flow with you. Why? They've got their own hurts, they've got their own rejections, their own walls, their own defense mechanisms, their own story playing in the background. So what do you need to do? You need to be realistic and understand that patience goes a long way in your communication. Now, for me personally, this is a challenge because I want to communicate, I want the person to understand me, I want results, I want to move on. Doesn't always work that way when there's another person on the other side of that. So we have to be very honest with ourselves and realize that communication, despite how good we are, despite how much we communicate with compassion, empathy, sincerity, just wanting to be heard and understood, the other person is not guaranteed to show up mirroring the same thing. They may come out with a bite. They may lash out at you. So we have to understand that as frustrating as it is, patience is so important because communication is a roller coaster. Sometimes you're going to have ups and highs, and sometimes you're going to have really down lows. So what we must do is be realistic and understand that patience is our best friend. So what does that look like? When you communicate something and the person blows up, they shut down, they wall off, they start looking the other way, they're rolling their eyes, they're interrupting you, they're doing all of those things. The most important thing that you can do is be in charge of yourself. And how do you do that? With patience. You look at the person, you watch their reactions, you see them rolling their eyes, you see them ready to react. But what you do is you stop and you take a deep breath and you go, I'm responsible for me. I'm responsible for my reaction. Just because they're pissed off right now doesn't mean it's my fault. That's a big thing. We tend to blame ourselves. Maybe I'm not communicating well enough. Maybe I'm being too harsh. We start thinking all the things that we're doing wrong. But really, first and foremost, we have to be patient with ourselves and trust that we're doing the best that we can. The second thing is we have to be patient with the other person. And I know this is so hard because what? You want to be loved, you want to be heard, you want them to understand where you're coming from. But when they react to you and they're harsh, it crushes you, it hurts you because all you're wanting to do is just to bring some clarity so that you guys can get the love back. But it doesn't always work that way. And so when the person doesn't respond the way you want them to, you have to remember that patience is a part of this communication journey. And without it, you're sure to walk into fire. You're sure to walk into destruction and calamity. Because if you go in with just expectations of getting what you want and you don't create space and patience for the other person, then you're headed towards destruction. So be realistic. Understand that it is a roller coaster. And when you have the lows, make sure that you yourself are patient, not only with the other person, but first and foremost with you.
What time in the last?
See what I just climbed to get here, and I'll show you in the footage, but look at where I climbed, if you can even see that. Way up there, all through there, all the way down to get to here. Crazy.
Yeah. Okay.